Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Matthew here with Crescentvale. We're doing a self-graded card review of a gold Shimmer Jaden McDaniels Prizm out of 24. This card is picked up at a ATX North Card Show in Belton, Texas, just down the road from here where we're at. And we picked this card up from a vendor, really nice vendor. Excellent price on it. I think it went for $10. We bought it. I've seen it sold on bid for $28, and that someone has it at buy it now at $100. Bids usually do go less than buy it nows. We'll probably have it closer to the $100 price point, and if it sells, it sells. If it grates, it's honestly a nice collector's item for us. Before we get into all the grading, quick disclaimer: every video, we cannot guarantee the grades will cross over to other grading companies at these grades. We cannot guarantee that the price will increase or decrease to the monetary value of the card based on the grades. What I can do is say this is my best way of assessing the condition of the card. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, you can kind of already see a little bit of the centering to these Prizm cards. And let's go ahead and take a closer look at that. So you can see the amount of distance from the bottom and then also left to right. Left to right centering looks great. I have no discrepancies there. The top to bottom, I could possibly see, it's a nice angle there. The gold shimmer just really makes it pop. But I could possibly see a discrepancy from top to bottom. So we can lean between a 9 and 9.5 for our centering on the front of the card. Let's take a look at the back, see if it leans more towards the 9 or towards the 9.5. And you kind of see there, I was like using the logos as a anchor point, and that is pretty close to having the same amount of distance. Probably a little bit more on the bottom than to the left, which is a little bit different than the front. Oh, here we go. Did not see that. So that is a pretty big surface issue there that we'll have to take into account. And I don't know if that happened. No, we just had it in a top loader, so this must have happened somewhere else. We had it in a penny sleeve and a top loader. There was no tape when we bought it, but this is the kind of stuff that you can't always see when you're at a card show. This is why we do these videos. This is why we're this transparent, because if you are going to spend $100 or even $10, we want you to be able to know this kind of stuff. And the vendor at the time, no foul on them. They would have most likely said, yeah, pull it out of there, take a closer look. But whenever we have it underneath the light and we can kind of see closer looks at it, you can kind of see, I think that'll probably play into either the surface or the edge, probably a little of both, honestly. So this card will go down probably to about a 7.5 overall based on that. That's a pretty big discrepancy. I mean, the centering, we probably will land on a either a 9 or 9.5. I think a 9 on this one is safe to say. So centering 9. Let's go ahead and talk about the edges and the surface next. We'll save the corners for last. But yeah, surface, because that does play into the surface. It also plays a bit into the edge. I mean, the edges are actually really nice. I don't see too many. We might just consider that a surface related issue and consider the edges close to pristine. If I find any other issues with the edges, we can point those out. Well, that happens when you have tape. So it's another reason why we package the way we package. We don't do tape at the top of our, some people use like painter's tape. We don't. We basically use a team bag to kind of tightly secure the card in without having to use painter's tape a lot of the time. That is most likely what happened here. This looks like not a manufacturing error, but most likely a human error during the handling of the card. What year is this again? 2023, 2024, Wemby's rookie year. So kind of sad that it got lost in the shuffle or destroyed, not destroyed, but heavily worn in the shuffle. So the edges, I can't find too many errors on the edges. I'm going to probably count that error up there on the surface, but let's go ahead and take a closer look and see if we can find any other edge wear. No, it's really just that one spot is going to take this card down to probably a 7, 7.5, maybe even probably a 7 is where I'm landing. So edges, I feel, is a 9. Now the surface, what we'll count next. And I mean, when you took the total look at the surface, there's not a lot of issues with the front. So if you were to buy this card, you could, mainly people just look at the front of the card. But I can't find any issues as far as the surface of the card. So that is, I'd almost want sometimes say half of the surface grade should be considered either 50% on the front, 50% on the back. I think everybody has their own numerical way of docking points. I mean, it is a considerable flaw. So I would almost say it should be above, in our subgrades, above a 5. Now the back, how low, and you could say like, well, percentage of the back is clean as well too, except for that top part. So I would say it's above a 5 in our subgrades. Now, how much above a 5 is the next question. And I should have a degradation score as far as maybe how many either centimeters, millimeters, just how much of the card is impacted by wear. And then we can start to say, well, if it's X amount of space on the card, then we can grade it down for X, Y, or Z. I'm going to say, since it's above a 5, definitely not a 10. It's probably landing at a 6, because whenever we're going to average out all the numbers. And I want the person buying the card not to see an 8.5 and think, well, this is great. I want them to be aware. And if you look at each of our eBay description, it'll also be noted there. So surface, I'm going to give it a 6. I think that's where I'm going to land because it is such a significant wear. Now, it's always open for interpretation. We're going to take a look at the corners next and see what kind of corner score. A little bit of wear there. That's probably a 9. This corner here is probably a 9.5. That's a sharp one, 9.5. That's probably closer to 8.5 there. So right now we're hitting around a 9 on corners, and I think that's where we're going to land, maybe 8.5. So I'm probably going to go, we'll go 9 on corners. So now we have 3 9s and a 6. Let's go ahead and average that out. So in between a 9 and a 6, the middle point is, go down to 8, up to 7, 7.5. Okay, and then we have 2 9s and a 7.5. In between a 9 and a 7.5, let's average that out real quick. 9 to 7.5, up a half a point would be 8, down a half a point, so that'd be 8.25. And now we're in between a 9 and 8.25 with averaging out our scores. And again, that's why we gave the surface a 6, but it's an 8.5 overall because the rest of the card is in good condition, but that top is significantly impacted. So one could say, should it be an 8 because of an 8.5? Here's what we'll do. I'll say in between an 8 and an 8.5. I'll clearly note it when discussing it with Grok AI, and we'll see how Grok AI scores it. I think that's the best way to keep it accurate and as accurate as possible. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch and continue to see what it ends up being at the end. Thank you.